hopefully that intro played and worked all right. I hope we're all doing well. I just thought I'd go live this evening. There's been a little bit of news, hasn't there, this week? So, yeah, I figured it'd be worth going live to chat through. Got Tom Pittman in the chat. Good to see you. I hope you're keeping well, Tom. Thank you for all your tweets you send my way. You've been you keep me well abreast of everything that's going on with Bristol City. Average Joe, Daniel, Alan. Good to see you all. I've just been to the gym. Absolutely smashed up my legs, so my legs are completely ruined, so I can barely walk. I've done a new setup as well. I hope you like the old, got my scarf from the Man City game. Also, it's a little bit grubby, but I've got a scarf from 2008 here as well. I'll hang it back up. Couple bits of Bristol City artwork on the back as well. So I thought that would improve the old Bristol City background. So yeah, hope everyone's keeping well. We got a few bits of news. Hopefully this works. I'm not going to stay live for too long because there's not that much news. But yeah, we'll answer any of your questions and have a bit of chat in the chat as well. Good to see you, Mike. So I did a video about Georgie Abuashvili, I'm pretty sure is his name. I still never learned to pronounce it correctly. We apparently agreed personal terms with him sometime in April. I don't know. The transfer rumour basically came out of nowhere, but he's officially signed for Metz in France. So we've lost that transfer target. Whether he was even a transfer target in the first place, I'm not entirely sure. But we've missed out on him if he was a transfer target. I don't know if it was just his agent, like sparking up rumours that he'd signed agreements or whatever. But yeah, he's gone to Metz. So that's the first bit of news. And yeah, just a bit more official confirmation there. Yeah, he signed for Metz. We had some goalkeeper kits. We've obviously had our third kit, which is quite nice. And we've had our goalkeeper kit, which is like a Rubik's Cube kind of style with 3 different colours. Well, that was relatively newsworthy. It was a couple of days ago. Well, yesterday that was announced, wasn't it? July 16th. It's pretty good, isn't it? The one thing I would say about O'Neill's and... the swimming club no longer exists, actually, but I used to swim for a club in Bristol called Bristol Penguins, and we had our kit from O'Neill's, and it was a bit cheaply made, I would say. So, yeah, I can't say I'm struck by the quality of what I've seen, but yeah, there we go. So we got a new kit. I thought this was interesting. So Tom Rawcliffe... I'll click on the link and we'll have a look. We've got a new Bristol City CEO. So we've announced Tom Rawcliffe as our CEO. This comes after 4 years at the club, where he's been both the head of finance and most recently the COO, a role of which he's had for the past 2 seasons. Whereas before that, he was at AFC Wimbledon when he was in charge of finances. So our CEO is of a finance background, we should say. He's excited to lead the club. I mean, seems like a pretty decent appointment. He's well trusted, well known across the club. I think, yeah, COO to CEO is a fairly, well, relatively natural transition. So I wish Tom all the best, first of all. He's got a great name. There's already a Tom in the chat as well. The one thing I would say, though, is this isn't accompanied by like a Bristol City org structure. And I don't know about you, but I am a little bit unclear, unless someone can correct me. I've tweeted about it, and maybe it's just my lack of Bristol City knowledge. But I'm a little bit unclear as to like the org structure now of the board of the club, of like that management team. So I suppose the CEO sits below John Lansdowne, who is the chairman. So then you've got the CEO, and he is in charge of obviously the chief operating officer, CFO, chief finance officer. Brian Tinian, the technical director, is he in that team? I don't know. There's nothing... I'm not clear on what that org structure looks like. I replied to the tweet, but yeah, I'm just not clear on what that structure looks like. That was one thing I had to ask. And also, one thing I would say, and it might be less the case, excuse me, it might be less of the case given that he has moved from a role within the club to become the CEO. Usually when companies bring in a new CEO, they want to be seen to have done something like in their first couple of months. So they make some changes to the board or organizational changes or whatever. That's what a CEO does when they take a new job. So whether that means we will also see a shake-up of kind of our board, I don't know. There's rumours about Brian. I'm not going to go into it because I don't know the details. But whether there could be potential things going on within the way the club is run from like CEO level down, who knows? But yeah, we got a new CEO. I thought that was quite yeah, I think it's probably, to be honest, we've had a few injuries and some transfer rumours, but this is probably the biggest news. Probably the biggest news of the week. And for me, obviously, the CEO is in charge of the company that is Bristol City Football Club. If that's even a company, I don't really know quite how it works, the club CEO. But we've got a chairman and then a board underneath him. So exactly what the CEO is responsible for isn't massively clear to me. If we've got a chairman, is he fully in charge of the club? I don't know. But anyway, that's just my thoughts. So we'll go back to the main screen now. We've obviously had the news that Pring sustained an ankle ligament injury while he's out in Portugal. And unfortunately, he's going to be out for around 12 weeks. So I would say, and I've said this on my tweets, that I think Pring is probably one of the few players we have in our squad that are genuine, like, promotion quality players. Like, he would be in a starting 11. He is of the ability to get you promotion, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, bit of a shame to be without him. We've obviously got Hayden Roberts. I think the next tweet is going to be, well, I haven't actually got a tweet, but Hayden Roberts has been linked today with Stockport County, apparently interested in his services. I would say I'll always be grateful for Hayden Roberts for what he did for our football club, scoring the goal against West Brom. It was probably the best goal I've ever seen in my life in person. And yeah, what a memory that is. But I think on the whole, if you're going to have to go 12 weeks starting Hayden Roberts every week, are you filled with confidence by that? Rather than give my opinion, I'll ask that question first. My answer to that, and as much as I appreciate what Hayden Roberts did, I think there are too many holes in his game for championship level football, to be honest. Apparently Ross McCrory smashed Pring. I don't know. We'll see on that one. But yeah, so I think we might be dipping into the market, to be honest. So I've had a couple of bits of info, right? One of them was about Dolan going for a tour of the High Performance Centre. Again, I made sure to caveat that with he went for a tour and I know nothing more. I don't know any more about Dolan, I'm afraid. He went for a tour of the High Performance Centre maybe last month now. He still hasn't obviously signed for a club. He's still choosing who he wants to sign for. Whether our hat's still in the ring or not, I don't know. But that's all I know is that he went for a tour. So I made a video last week around Leia Pacarada, who was Gerhard Struber's first choice left back at Cologne. And I saw there was a tweet from a Bosnian journalist linking Pacarada to Bristol City. Now there was a player, I don't know who it is. I wasn't told who it was. I was told they weren't allowed to share with me who it was. But I was told someone apparently was having a tour of the High Performance Centre this morning. I don't know who it is. Again, we're going to reiterate, I don't know who it was. But I think that suggests that we're active still in the transfer market and looking to make some signings. And I think, right, on a day where you have just found out that our first choice left-sided left back is injured, the backup is potentially on his way out to Stockport County, who are interested in him. Does that open the door to a new signing? And that's where I'm looking at Leia Pacarada. And what the main thing that I looked at, well, the main thing that stuck out to me when I looked through him and his stats was comparing him to other players in the German second division, Bundesliga 2, were his creativity. So he ranked in the 88th percentile for assists. He got 6 assists this season. Expected assists were 9, basically 10 expected assists, was the 96th percentile. He made a load of passes, 74 key passes. He was in the 99th percentile for key passes. Put in 250 crosses. He put in 9 crosses per game. So in the top 99th percentile. And 72 of the 250 were successful. So he put in 3 successful crosses per 90 minutes. That was a 99th percentile in the league. So that leaves you with a very creative outlet. And I don't know what system, what formation we're going to play under Struber. But this guy seems pretty comfortable playing at left back. He was played in a back four at Cologne. Or Cologne. I don't know which way I should say. It's probably Cologne, isn't it? But with those attacking stats, I think it looks like he could also play at left wing back too. And I don't know who the player is. I'm literally just speculating and using logic based on like the information we've got. Pring's injured. Roberts is wanted by Stockport County. If there was a player visiting the High Performance Centre today, what position would they be playing in? You know, I would suggest it's probably a left back. Just a guess. Again, don't have any info on who it is. I could be wrong, but that's my guess. That's basically all the news roundup I had for you. Let's see what the chat's saying. Andrew Shaw, do you think Dolan will come to us? He said no to the Turkish team because they couldn't match his wages. He's obviously not gone to Rangers, who I think were also in for him. And Rangers signed, was it? I can't remember the guy's name. From Sheffield Wednesday. They signed a Sheffield Wednesday winger. So that probably, Gisama, I think it is, from Sheffield Wednesday. So that would suggest they probably don't need Dolan now. I think Rangers in Scotland were after him. So there's less clubs in the ring for him. But I don't know if he'll sign for us, to be honest. I don't even know if the club are interested in him at this point. I don't have any clues, Alan. I've just put 2 and 2 together. And I don't even know if the information's 100% correct, but I'm pretty sure it is. Are you going to Valladolid? I will be, mate. I've bought my ticket. I'm in somewhere in section 82 or in that section of the ground. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I tweeted as well, but if anyone, I'm going to the game on my own. So if anyone fancies grabbing a pint or a coffee or anything before the game, just give me a shout. Basically, you can find me on Twitter. I'm in S25. I don't think I'm in S25. I'm in the corner. From someone I know says he's not been up at the HPC. Interesting. Fair enough. My sources say he was. I trust what I was told, I must say. Do you think we will sign a left back? Should do, though. It's interesting, I think. There's a debate going on in my head at the moment as to whether we should, because we've obviously got Elijah Morrison, who still hasn't really had a first team chance for this football club. And he's probably at it sounds a bit dark to say it, but at the prospect of Pring being injured, he's like licking his lips thinking he might get an opportunity. And then we're in the market for a left back. But at the same time, we want to like assure success for our football club, don't we? So I'm not too mad about signing a left back myself. And he's probably still going to get minutes, is Morrison, right? Especially if Roberts leaves, that leaves you with 2 fit left-sided defenders, and they're going to share minutes. There's no way that anyone could come in and play 90 minutes every game until Pring is back fit. Is there anything else I want to show? I'm just going to go back to my solo screen a second. Bear with. Because I'm just going to have a look through my own tweets a second to see if there's anything I wanted to share. No, there was one thing, actually. I'm just going to plug my own social media if that's allowed. Hopefully it is. My channel. I've got an Instagram. It was originally like linked to my fantasy football account, but now I've ended up with 2 YouTube channels. I've made it a bit more generic to football. So Tom H Football, that's me on Instagram. If you want to drop us a follow on Instagram, I'll just switch screens again and we'll find the tweet I was actually looking at. Yeah, there we go. Here's the Roberts news, just to confirm that. So Dan Carter, our probably, closest journalist to Bristol City, has tweeted saying that Stockport County are interested in Hayden Roberts, and he's into the final year of his contract as well. So, yeah, I think we could potentially be seeing him leave this summer. What else have we got? Sorry, I keep changing screens, so I just don't want to share. Just don't want to share too much of my personal Twitter, if that's all right. What else have we got? Pacarada. Yeah, and then I had just some. We can end with this, right? What are your general thoughts on the transfer window so far? We signed Randall, Reese, and Joe Lumley. Those are the 3, aren't they? We've not signed anyone else that I'm not aware of. I have a little bit of a concern that just with the sheer amount of money that the clubs have chucked at it this window, I'm thinking Norwich, Birmingham, Watford have done quite well as well, quite quietly. It's just whether they can get them playing well. How do you rate our window, and where do you genuinely think we'll finish this season? For me, I think our window has been all right. Reese and Randall are good signings, don't get me wrong. Reese is probably going to be our best striker. So we've signed a good championship striker. So I accept that. Randall, I think he fits into our squad really well. But I think he's not guaranteed first choice, I would say. You've got McGuane, Williams, Knight, Bird, and now Randall. That's 5 centre midfielders. Where does he fit? It could potentially be a shrewd signing if Knight were to leave, but it doesn't look like Knight is actually off. I've not seen any transfer rumours around Knight. And I just think those other clubs have overtaken us with the business they've done. The one, I put this tweet, the one factor we've got, I think, and I'm probably I don't know. I absolutely love him already, but I do think that Struber will probably get us punching above our weight a little bit. I do think the fact that our squad plus the manager's philosophy, they're kind of built for each other. And I think that might get us punching above our weight again. And I think, to be honest, last season we did a bit of that even under Liam Manning. And I think Struber is better suited to us than Manning actually was. So yeah, the window's all right. I was never expecting us to go out there and spend tens of millions. That was never going to happen. But we've signed some decent players. I don't think we have improved on where we were last season. I think we're a better squad than where we were last season, but we're not going to finish higher in the league because some of our competitors, I think, have overtaken us. That would be my view. And if I were to predict where we finish at the moment, based on what our squad looks like, I'm looking at sort of 8th, 9th, 10th. I think we'll probably be in and around the playoffs up until about February time, and we'll sort of peter out. That would be my prediction. We also do have a pretty good set of players already, and I'm so intrigued to see how Struber will actually line us up. I don't really know how we're going to play. That might be one of our strengths as well, right? Is that I couldn't tell you how we're going to line up. I don't think any Bristol City fan can realistically predict what our starting 11 is going to look like. And I think for a club that we're going to play, how do you prepare for a team where you don't know who they're going to play and how they're going to line up? Right, we've got 72 people watching. Bloody hell. Thanks everyone for watching. If you could please leave us a like rating on the stream and subscribe if you haven't already to the Robin's Nest YouTube channel. I'll just have a quick look at the chat and then we'll probably sign off because that was all I wanted to cover. I don't think I've forgotten anything. I think that is everything. We got to McCrory smashing Pring and doing his ankle in. Nice one, gamer 52 for come and say hello. I should be there. Yeah, Roger, I've always felt that. I don't think the O'Leary injury was the reason we needed a new goalkeeper. I think we needed to upgrade on O'Leary, to be honest. I don't think he's good enough to get you into the Premier League. That would just be my opinion. I respect what he's done for this football club. He's made a lot of appearances, made a lot of quality saves. But I think if we want to get ourselves promoted, we need to take a step up in that position for me. My FPL page is Golden Goal Fantasy Football, if you want to check that out. Andrew Short, would you be gutted to lose Roberts? Would you? I feel bad criticising players in a way because they're human beings, but at the end of the day, not really. No, I'd accept it. I don't think it's not for a want of trying. I just think there are holes in his game where he's probably not good enough to get Bristol City to the playoffs, really. Yeah, even though he sort of did last season. Who would you say is the best City all-time for? Bloody hell. Some random football genius. My historical knowledge of Bristol City is not good enough to answer that question, I'm afraid. What's other people saying? Subscribe to this legend. Thank you very much, mate. Good to see you, Liam. I hope you're keeping well. My mate Liam. Are you going to the Valladolid game, mate? I'll be there. Hopefully see you there. What else we got? Thinks we'll be 9th in the league. Would you rather City won the Premier League or England won the World Cup? I think considering where we are now, it's got to be Bristol City winning the Premier League, really, hasn't it? I think it has to be Bristol City winning the Premier League. Could you imagine? I live somewhere in South Bristol. I won't say exactly where. Around me would be very lively if Bristol City won the Premier League. I'd be all for it. I mean, if Bristol City won the league, you just wouldn't sleep for like a week, would you? Our position will defend on. Yeah, I agree with that. You going live, maybe think you had an announcement or somebody was signed. No, I wish, mate. I was just giving an update on the news. Need a left winger. Dolan is a must. It depends how we play, really. I think Dolan would be a smart signing, though, because I think he would fit in the forward line with any formation that we play. I do think he'd be a really smart signing for us. But again, I realised I was kind of the catalyst to that rumour. I just had information. Basically, I had this source, right, who told me that Emil Rees was being announced. Someone saw him at the High Performance Centre in his training gear and stuff, and he was going to be announced. And he was, right? I tweeted like a couple hours before saying it'll be in a couple hours, and bang on the money, he was announced, right? And then that same source told me that Dolan was at the high performance centre. So naturally, I'm gonna share that news because he got it right about Reece, you know. Robert's best spell was probably the last month or so of the season before last. Yeah. I think his one redeeming feature is just his ability on the ball. I think he's really good on the ball. He just doesn't quite have it, I think, physically or like the concentration defensively. Yeah. I'd give Roberts a little longer. Maybe. Do you think we get another striker in? I hope so, mate. But I don't... Realistically, I think if we were to sign a striker, we would need to get rid of one at the moment. Because you've got Fally, Sinks, Sam Bell, and Reece now. I think 4 strikers, you're going to need to get rid of one of them to bring one of them in. And whether... I don't think... Unless one of them's had a really bad pre-season and they want to loan him out straight away, I think... Oh, and Cornick. Harry Cornick. How could I forget? How could I forget? How could I forget the GOAT? My God. Harry Cornick. So we got 6. No. 5. 5 forwards. Yeah. One of them's got to go before we can bring one in. Yep. Some random football genius got it right. What people forget, though, is the season before last, as a left centre-back and a back 3 player, Leicester, Hayden was one of our better players, was so aggressive in the tackle and brought the ball out well. Yeah. But that was one performance, you know? Have you seen that enough from him? Don't know. And I think the key thing here is that was at left centre-back, but I think we want someone to play at full-back. And I've got a feeling we want someone who's has the ability to play in a back 3 as well, with a back 3 as a left wing-back. Would you sell Cornick or Fally? Well, you're going to get more cash if you sell Fally, but I don't actually know how much. Cornick, I'm not sure. Who's realistically going to want to buy Cornick? You know? So yeah, I do wonder. I think there's probably space for one player in our squad now, really, with what we've got. Like, you could only sign one, really, with the size of our squad. You have to start getting rid of players otherwise. And I haven't, other than Roberts being linked to Stockport County, I've not seen any other rumours linking our players to another club so far. Like Knight to Everton sort of went at the start of the season, but I'm pretty sure Everton have signed a midfielder now. And I haven't seen any other links for Knight. This is better than the Messi Ronaldo debate, Reece or Cornick. I think the answer to that is pretty clear. Cheers, Renato. Yeah, that Danish striker ended up going to Watford. Watford had done some really good business. And yeah, he ended up signing for them in the end. That wasn't really... I don't think there was really a solid link there to City. I don't think City were ever in the market for him. What was I going to say? But I know there are a few reputable Bristol City accounts that are tweeting about him, and I respected their opinions on him. He looked like a good player. Yeah, Andrew, I'm with you there. I think if he does go to a Premier League team now, it's probably going to be Burnley, to be fair. We need a left-back goalkeeper striker, then I'm happy. It's fair. I agree with you on Fally. I agree with you. I wonder if it's all mental. Yeah, people saying they want another striker. Fally has the ability. I hope so, mate. I hope so. I don't really have, I'll be honest, I don't really have much more to talk about. So I'm probably going to end the stream there. I don't know how long we've been live for, 25 minutes. That's a bit of a roundup of everything that's been happening. I'll just do a quick reminder. Just a quick reminder of what we covered. Go back to my bookmarks. Where are we? There we are. So unfortunately, my man, Georgie Abuashvili, he's gone to Metz in France. We missed out on him. Got a new goalkeeper kit. Pretty sick. A new CEO. We talked a little bit, didn't we, about org structure. I don't know. Has anyone ever released one for... I don't know quite how it works. So yeah, I'd be intrigued to see that. I assume he still reports to John Lansdowne and Brian Tinian sort of reports to him directly. I don't know. Cam Pring's injured, out for 3 months. He's had either had or about to have surgery. Hope all of that went well. And then, yeah, someone went to the High Performance Centre. I don't know if it was Leo Pucarada. I have no info on whether it was him. They didn't tell me who it was. But I think if Hayden Roberts is linked to Stockport, Cam Pring is injured, and you're looking to sign a player as Bristol City right now, who you're looking at could be this guy. So, yeah. Again, I don't know if any of that's actually true, but it's what I've heard. So, yeah. I'll end it there. Thank you everyone for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll probably catch you in my next video or whenever we sign another player or so.